Hello, gentlemen, and welcome to yet another episode of Gentlemen's Club Whiskey. I am your pontiff of Japanese whiskey and your Tokyo godfather, Mr. Mark Antimate here. Got some water to clean out my palate. I'm shooting two whiskey reviews back to back, and I've already just conducted the review over the White Oak Single Malt Whiskey Akashi. And inside of this video, I have the White Oak Special Blend. This one is 700 milliliters. Wow. So let me clean out my palate real quick and I'll be right with you guys. So there's that. And I got my new clean glass here. I bought this one at the tail end of 2019. And I remembered my friend from Philadelphia came to visit me. And I wish I had something that I could give him as a gift when he was here for about a week. So I reached inside my whiskey collection, saw that I had this one and it was unopened. So I gifted him this entire bottle of whiskey. And then I had to go out again and buy a whole new one for myself. So he knows what it tastes like, but I don't. I haven't drank this since, well, I haven't drank it at all, but this second bottle, after I gifted him the first one that I had, I bought this second bottle out of a specialty grocery store in 2020. The place was called Makuhari, and it was inside of Kaihin Makuhari Station that I bought it from in Chiba, Japan. Akashi is not known for releasing 700 milliliter size bottles. They usually only put out their whiskey, being their blended whiskey and their single malts inside of 500 milliliter size bottles. So this is a big change for them. And let's open this one up. The bottle still looks the same, kind of, but it's more extended with an extra 200 milliliters added on. But this is, if you can kind of cut that off, this is what a normal Akashi bottle will look like. So this one is called the Special Blend. And like I said, I haven't had this before. This one is from the Egashima Distillery, formerly known as the White Oak Distillery. And this Special Blend is 40% ABV. Let's go ahead and have a pour. Cracking the seal for the first time. A little bit dark. I don't know how old it is, but usually their whiskeys are non-colored, so I'm assuming that this is non-colored. Look at me dropping stuff all over the place. Get the book, 50 Japanese Whiskeys, available now. Let's go ahead and move this down to the side, get it out of the way. Yeah. And let me put this down because I would like to be able to put this top back on here. Metal screw cap, quite nice, and there goes the box there. Okay, let me show you real quick. This is the single malt whiskey coming inside of this cardboard box, and the Special Blend comes inside of a larger size box. But thematically, when you put them together on your whiskey library shelf, they essentially look the same. I don't remember how much I paid for this one right here, but I do believe it may have been approximately about 2,500 Japanese yen. Just taking a guess there. I really don't remember, as it was 2.5 years ago, but hey, what can you do? Let me have one more sip of water just to really make sure that my palate is clean, and I'll be right with you guys. So, this is what I'm going to do. Since this is my first time to have this, I'm going to pause the video right here. I'm going to really take my time with this. Oh, that's strong. And I'm going to put all my notes up on the computer. And once I get all my tasting notes under wraps, then I'm going to come back and I'm going to share it with you guys. All right, see you guys in just a few. All right, so I'm back. Just really quick, before I continue on with the review, I just picked up some notes off the internet about this one. It says that it's made with 100% British malt blended with grain whiskey. So it's not completely all Japanese to say. And it says all of this has been matured for at least 3 years, obviously, in oak barrels. This whiskey was released to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the opening of the Egashima distillery, which opened its doors back in 1919. 100 years in celebrating their obtaining a license to make whiskey back in 1919. But even though they had the license, they didn't have the know-how and they didn't make whiskey back in 1919. But they did obtain a license back in that year, so this is to celebrate 100 years since they got that license. The nose is extra spicy. It's a very pungent smell. It's like an alcohol-based cleaner or like paint. So the smell is not that good, but when you taste it, it tastes like paint as well. Spicy paint. But it's a very delicious and good tasting paint, if that's even believable. And figs in the back there on the palate. And finally, the finish is very, very quick and hot. Yeah, just for it to be so weird and obscure tasting, especially with the whole paint thing going on, it's actually quite a good taste. It really tastes good in spite of how it smells. Oh, woo! Spicy, hot. Pretty spicy for 40% ABV. It kind of leans on the Scotch-esque side of things. Completely a derivative taste from the single malt whiskey also that I just recently reviewed on the channel. Just two completely different tastes. It's just a big departure from that, but wow. All in all, I'm going to give this one a go. It's pretty spicy. It's something that you're going to have to learn to enjoy. When I gifted this to my friend, and when he took a photo of it and showed me that he's been drinking it and that it's like, you know, the bottle's like sitting at 20% left. As an American, I don't know how he made it all the way down to the end, because he's not really one on drinking Japanese whiskeys. He does like some scotches. He likes different types of Johnny Walkers. So, all right. Now that I said that, I can see how he made it down so far inside of his particular bottle. He's probably already finished it, whereas I just started mine two years after the fact. But yeah, pretty good whiskey. I rather enjoyed that. Spicy. It has character to it. It has its own unique character. But like I said, I found some notes that said that it's 100% British malt blended with grain whiskey. With that said, could it be even called Japanese whiskey at this point in time? If it's just malted barley and they got the malted barley from the UK and they brought it over here and then they did everything on top of the malted barley that they got, then sure, I guess you could kind of call it Japanese whiskey. But if they actually procured the malt and brought it over here and then they just kind of aged it a little bit, inside of Japan in barrels here for 3 years. Is it really Japanese whiskey? Being that it was just aged here, kind of difficult to say. So this is where you really start to get to this gray area of Japanese whiskey and the definition in what you can term as Japanese whiskey. There's an association that's out now that clearly marks the terms of what is and what isn't Japanese whiskey. And if I could think clearly, I don't think that this would be termed as Japanese whiskey, but hey, it's sold here. It comes from a famous brand. I bought it. I'm drinking it. Not to say that it's Japanese whiskey, but I bought it in Japan and it's made by a Japanese distillery. I'm just saying that I have it and I'm tasting it. But they do have their single malt. I already showed that off, so they do have that going for them. But whatever. All in all, just talking about the taste-wise, not the politics behind what it is, it tastes pretty damn good. Smell is very pungent and off-putting, but it tastes pretty good. Finish is very quick. Not much there on the finish. It goes by very fast, but it's just a good whiskey. I could see myself sharing this one with friends very soon. And I will do that this upcoming Saturday when I have a meeting with a couple of people that I know. So, good whiskey. I thank you guys for watching. Salute to you wherever you may be outside of the world. If you guys are drinking, make sure that you drink responsibly. And as always, gentlemen, you guys know what to do. Keep it classy. I'm out.